Everyone, welcome to the closing ceremony. It's super good to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining us. What an epic achievement for everybody here. We're so proud of everyone that's gone to this point. I can't tell you how difficult it is for the folks that are new in the audience to get to this point within the VC Lab Accelerator program. So we're extremely, extremely happy to see everybody here. My name is Mike Supervici. I'm the head of acceleration at VC Lab. I'm joined by Mirto Alakos, who's the senior associate, as well as Adeo Resi, who's the CEO. The agenda for today is going to be that Adeo is going to say a couple words here for the audience, and then we're going to move on into kind of sharing several awards for folks that went through the program that we're really, really proud of. And so we wanted to do that as the next part, and then we're going to be following that with a pretty great networking event, which will happen right after that. So without further ado, Adeo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mike. Wow, 55 firms have reached this point in the program, and I believe we started with 300 and some odd. So the fact that the 55 have made it to the end means that they have a good thesis because they made it through the thesis review. They have great fund materials because they made it through the presentation review. And they have commitments from limited partners, enough so that they have a real shot of closing, if not already. Some of the firms have closed already, but very soon. And that is an impressive achievement no matter how you look at it. Getting through in a matter of a few short months, 4 months. Many people started with just an idea. In fact, there were 300 some odd people that started, and 55 firms came out the end, and they are really in a pole position to be the next gen managers that are going to change the world for the better because they are ethically aligned. They're working on things that matter. They're working on funding businesses that matter. This is a beautiful thing. And I hope that this is just the beginning, right? This is a small but important milestone in your journey to build the type of venture capital firm that's going to make this world a better place, right? We need to take money and allocate it to things that matter. And you are the bleeding edge of that happening in the world today because you're ethically aligned, your thesis is good, and you're ready to go. And this is, again, for many of you, the first and an important step in that journey. And so let me just talk about what this journey looks like. I see some more people are coming in, and then we're going to have the awards, right? Which is going to be super exciting. And then everyone can sit at tables and meet one another, etc. So, you're at a really great spot right now, right? And the momentum, you have wind in your sails, you have momentum, okay? In a few short months, much faster than most other people working on launching funds. As I said, you have your thesis, you've got good materials, and you have some initial commitments. This already puts you ahead of everybody else who's looking to launch a fund because getting there is hard, all right? But it's not the end. And in fact, even your first close is not the end. The end is really, for us, Fund 3. Right? Because you're not in the business of building an enduring and impactful and meaningful venture capital firm until you finish Fund 1, you finish Fund 2, and you really launch Fund 3. So for Mike, for myself, for Mirto, and the entire VC Lab team, which is now roughly 40 people worldwide, our main KPI, if you will, is to see you get to Fund 3. All right? So I'm going to just talk a little bit about that journey because you have the momentum. You got to keep that momentum right now. You must keep the momentum. You have more momentum than you think. You are in the top 10% of people launching venture capital firms with momentum right now. The program has given you that momentum. You must keep that momentum going to your first close, okay? That means Get more commitments. Don't stop getting commitments until you're oversubscribed. Never stop raising capital, okay? And frankly, when you're done with Fund 1, fully closed and raised, you're going to need to continue speaking with limited partners after that as well for Fund 2 and Fund 3, because some limited partners that don't say yes to Fund 1 will say yes to Fund 2 or will say yes to Fund 3, especially if they're bigger ones, right? So a lot of big LPs like kind of hang around in Fund 1 to get to know you, but choose to invest in Fund 2 or Fund 3. So don't alienate them and don't stop fundraising. So the program's over. Set a goal of how many commitments you want to get a week, how many meetings you want to get a week, and you can work backwards. So let's say you want to get 2 commitments, 2 packs signed a week, maybe for, easy number, 200,000, or maybe a harder number like 500,000, right? Well, obviously 2 packs, 200,000, that's 100,000 each. At 500,000, maybe 250 each. And then work and say, okay, if I want to get these 2 packs a week, how many meetings do I need to have a week? Is it 10? Is it 15 or 20? Figure it out. And then just hold yourself to it, right? Get the meetings you need a week. Get the packs you need a week. And if you're struggling at all, we're here to help, okay? This is the beginning of your journey, right? You're going to Fund 3. Mike, myself, the entire VC Lab team, we're there. Slack's not going away. The questions channel, fundraising channel, we're going to be there every step of the way, and we're happy to help. We don't want anything in return. We want you to succeed. That's it. We want you to win. We want you to be the next generation manager that we can be proud of, that's changing the world for the better. And that's the payment that we want, your success, right? When you are successful, we've achieved our goal. We are successful, and that's all we want. So get to that first close, get your commitments in. And then again, the first close is not the end. In many ways, that's the beginning, because now you have a firm, right, that you're running as a VC, but you still need to fundraise, and now you need to start doing deals. And let me give you a tip. The first deals that you do as a VC with your new fund are probably the single most important deals that you will do in your whole career, okay? They must be exceptional, all right? Home runs, so that as you continue to raise your fund and do a second close and a third close, and hopefully you finish by your third close, right? You can point to those deals and be like, see what a good investor I am? I did this deal. It's marked up already 5x, and it's only been 6 months. It's like, whoa, not only is it thesis aligned, it's marked up, it's an amazing founder, they're doing meaningful things in the world. You want to be proud beyond belief in the first deals that you do, and they got to demonstrate your mastery of the craft. So that's why we have you doing a lot of warehouse stuff when you don't have a fund, so that you have a big range of options to choose from to pick those seminal deals that you do when you do your first close. And then, fingers crossed, most of you will get to a final close in 12 months and oversubscribe. If you do that, okay, and I need you to hear this, if you can get to your final close in 12 months or less and oversubscribe, you will be among the better managers in the world today. And if you do those seminal deals when you start your firm and those deals perform as you expect, you will be among the very best firms in the entire world. Because most people make mistakes around this stuff, and we're going to be here by your side the whole way to make sure you make less mistakes, do it right, and become the best of the best. And I'll, we can worry about Fund 2 and Fund 3 later. We're there for that as well. Our program now has a track for people working on Fund 2 and Fund 3. And we've had people come through earlier cohorts that are going through the emerging manager track. So you are always invited back. It will always be free. And we're here to help however we can. But I want to leave you with a closing thought. I want everyone here to do 2 to 5 times better than any other manager out there today. Because if we can take managers that are vision aligned, working on things that matter, being ethical investors, and they perform 2 to 5 times better than anyone else, we've changed the world, right? We've literally changed the world. What that means is that ethical investors working to make the planet better outperform their peers not doing that on every metric, right? They're working on things that matter. People want to invest in things that matter, right? They're funding things that matter. People want to fund things that matter, and they're outperforming. Like, what's better than that? So we're here to help that become reality. There's nothing you can't ask us to try and help with, and we will do anything we can to help you, right? We will literally do anything that we can to help. So don't be a stranger. What you can ask me, Mike, and anyone, and then we have a big bench of people, okay? We got the head of treasury from Sequoia Capital, the CFO of allocations. We have some of the head fund controller from Carta, and the list goes on. The bench of people, the number one modeler in the world, the top person for institutional due diligence, blah, blah, blah. All these people are at your disposal. All you need to do is just ask, and we will be there to help. Because again, if we can have you succeed beyond your wildest dreams and do 2 to 5 times better than your peers in the rest of the market, we've really done something magical for this world. And that's what motivates me. That's what motivates Mike. That's what motivates Mirto and the whole team. So with that said, let's give some awards.
Let's do it, everyone. And just because this is the closing ceremony, it's actually just the beginning, really, of our help and trying to help you get to Fund 3 here. So without further ado, we'd like to introduce several awards for folks in the program. Now, look, everybody that's at this point in the program is an absolute rock star. Just think about that. So over 2,500 people started applications. We've accepted like roughly around 300, right? And this is like the 55 firms that were able to make it through. So this is like the elite of the elite of the elite, right? And it's the whole cohort is like that. That being said, there are a few folks that we'd like to highlight here because, of some of their achievements, and this is what we're about to do now. So without further ado, Mirto, maybe you can take it from here, and then we can get started.
Of course. Thanks, Mike. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I have followed you through your whole 16 weeks of Cohort 9. And, you guys have amazed us. You've done so well, and we couldn't be prouder of each and every single one of you. But with that said, we also want to do something fun, and we do want to highlight some people that have really been extremely delightful to work with. They've really sparked up the program, and we just wanted to, and they've inspired us, and we just want to highlight some of these really inspirational stories and figures that have gone through Cohort 9. So this first award, we're going to start off with something light, is an award that we give out for community contribution, right? So as many of you know, we run our community on Slack. There's thousands and thousands of, emerging managers being added onto Slack every day. And, we've created this huge community now. But in every community, there are always leaders that emerge, from being there, from watching what's happening, from initiating insightful conversation, and last but not least, by reacting to the Slack messages. So we will start off by rewarding the fund manager that has been celebrating us throughout the 16 weeks and celebrating their peers. Because this is the top Reactor award, I know many of you have seen these buttons, but at the bottom of your screen, you will see some emojis. And we do ask you to hit those emojis as much as possible to celebrate these award winners with us. Thank you, guys. So the winner of the Top Reactor Award goes to none other than Sylvester from Space Kite Ventures. Congratulations.
Big congratulations, Sylvester. Sylvester, I don't know what I would do if it wasn't for you. Every single time I'd post a Slack message on there, I can always expect at least an emoji, if not some sort of GIF, if not some sort of funny thing. And honestly, dude, you've really made our whole community so much better, right? This is really hard. You know, talking to LPs, getting sometimes no's from LPs is really tough, but you've made it really fun, you know, just because you've always been there, you know, encouraging everybody and posting your story successes and things like that. So thank you, man. You've been a really, really inspirational leader in our community, especially in Cohort 9. So thank you, Sylvester.
Well done, Sylvester. Okay, so in a similar vein, our next award goes to the managers that were the most interactive in the program. So as many of you know, there's hundreds of firms that start off in the program. So Adeo mentioned earlier, there's about 330 managers that started off. So for the people like me who are working on the programs and a lot of our team members, it is like herding cats a lot of the time, right? But there's one thing that really delights us, and that's people who kind of communicate with us, keep us in the loop with their progress. They show us that whatever we send out is read. They react again to our messages, maybe not as much as Sylvester, but you know, they ask really good questions, and they you know, see our work in general. So the award of the most interactive managers from Cohort 9 goes to Bront from Pixel Play Agro Fund and Gooch from Accent. So thank you both so much for being so great to work with.
Yeah, it just a kind of funny story here. So Bront, man, I think you replied to every single email that Myrto has sent. And for those of you that know, Myrto sends a lot of emails. So thank you. It actually means a lot. It means a lot that at least that you're reading them. So that's a huge thing. And obviously you replying to them, that makes us feel like really, really good. And
I think like we all send a lot of emails, let's be honest.
Yeah, and Dale sends a lot of them too. So it's not just Myrto here. But yes, we can always expect a reply from Bront. But honestly, you know, the whole Pixel Play team in general, all you guys, you know, have been really, really great to work with. Very, very great in the community. But, you know, Bront took it to a whole other level. So we definitely wanted to feature you here. Another gentleman that I'd like to have a few words about is my good friend Gooch. You know, Gooch, man, like, I don't know what I would do without you on these webinars. I'd have to sit there and be like pinging like the whole team, hey, tell everybody to ask some questions to the speaker. I wouldn't have to worry about that with you, man. You always had the questions for the speaker, like 4 or 5, right? So it actually made my life a lot easier. So I don't have to sit there and like come up with all the questions. So dude, Gooch, appreciate it. And all, you know, and good questions too, right? Like you always asked really good, insightful questions on these webinars that made the whole community better. And we really, really appreciate both of you. So thank you so much. You all have been a joy to work with.
Congratulations, both of you. Great. So this next award is the award of Top Community Voice. So we talk about community a lot. I don't even know how many times I've said it since the start of these awards. But it is so much of the value that you get from getting onto one of our VC Lab programs. We have people that have the most exceptional backgrounds from all over the world. And you know, I can't begin to describe how much value that brings to the program, and kind of what it's like coming out of a VC Lab program with this new network that you build around you. And, you know, the community is big, but there are a few people that really kind of go above and beyond to contribute to the community, and they show a real spirit of solidarity. And this next person receiving the Top Community Voice Award gets this, special mention for all the time and the effort that they have spent answering every question that has come in from various managers, whether he knows them or not, giving feedback. And, without further ado, we want to give this award to John Roberts from Boot 64 Ventures. Thank you so much, Robert, for all the time, you've spent answering everyone's questions instead of Mike or Deo.
Also, I want to thank you.
Faster than you and I, Mike, in many cases.
Exactly. I was gonna say, and he's like giving feedback in the Thesis channel, which is taking off. So, man, dude, you're like all over Slack, asking questions, adding feedback. It's been wonderful and really good questions too. That again, like, have helped people get better as a result of from you as well. Very coachable too. Like, it's been really cool. Like, just been a pleasure really to kind of work with you, John, honestly, and obviously Michael too. But, just the way you've been able to kind of receive our feedback, push back when it makes sense to push back kind of thing, and really helped everyone get better kind of as a result. John, you've been awesome to work with. Thank you so much for all your contributions to the community.
Well done, John. Great. This next award is for most memorable thesis. So the way that we start out the programs is by focusing and doubling down on your thesis, which is a statement that we make the managers kind of craft, which explains what they're going to be investing in, where they'll be investing, and why they'll be such good investors in this kind of target investment space. And we get thousands of applications, and in the applications, we ask people to put in their theses. So you can imagine that we've seen funds kind of from almost every single geography, investing in every imaginable sector at every stage of the funding kind of life cycle of startups. And so at some point you do develop a bit of fatigue, but luckily, there's always, those few thesis statements that really stand out and become really memorable and stand out from the thousands and the thousands that we see every day. And the reason why they stand out is because not only they're unique, but because they're very authentic and they really come from within, and they really kind of, the managers embody the theses. And more importantly, what this does is that it makes LPs, commit to their firm. So the firms that we want to be awarding for most memorable thesis in Cohort 9 are Cam and Shane's firm from Red Stick, Janice and Rufaro's firm at Isiki Capital, and Eugenio from Accelerate Latam. So well done to all these three winners.
And by the time people get to this point in the program, everyone has an incredible thesis. So it's really, really hard to make these decisions for the accelerator team. So I just want to put that out there. This was like one of the hardest awards we've had. And for everybody that wants to kind of know the theses, obviously we can't share exactly because that's, potentially general solicitation, but I can talk a little bit on a high level, right? For example, we're talking here with Shane and Cam, not only just incredible humans, right, to work with. Seriously, guys, it's just been a pleasure to work with you guys, but just their specialization, especially in this kind of like food tech kind of revolution, is just incredible. They have like almost like the perfect backgrounds to really execute on something in this space. And and you could see it just the way it resonated with everybody, whether it's founders, LPs, and things like that. So, it's just an incredible idea, and also just very unique. Just we've, like Mirto said, we see a lot of stuff. This is a very unique kind of approach, and we're super, super proud of you guys. Next up, I'd like to also speak a little bit about Rufaro and Janice. So, again, incredibly like amazing GPs working on something that really matters. This might be one of the first funds, if not the first fund that we've had in Zimbabwe. It's a new and kind of like ecosystem, and just a thought, right, of like how much innovation this fund could potentially power in the region is just absolutely, like inspiring, right? And like how many entrepreneurs are going to get kind of like a first shot at getting going because of the efforts of Rufaro and Janice. So to both of you, big congratulations. We're super proud of you, and it's a super, super interesting kind of approach. And we wish you nothing but continuous success. And then finally, what can I say about Eugenio, man? Eugenio has been in the community for a little while. We've worked together with you quite a lot, and he's just, again, working on something that Adele talked about, working on things that matter, right? He's focusing on like climate in LATAM, right? Very, very impactful kind of thesis. If just the kind of companies that can be powered by something like this, and just the level of innovation to help with the various challenges that we have in climate are just profound. And, Latin America is a great place for innovation like this, right? And so, Eugenio, we're super proud of you. We wish you nothing but continued success. Also, just, another person that could have been kind of in that kind of like some of the previous awards that we've had, very active in the community and just a joy to work with. So thank you, Eugenio. We wish you nothing but continued success.
Well done, everyone. Great. So this next award, I think, is one of my favorites. I think a lot of people, because we say we're an accelerator, they think that VC Lab is a program where you can go and kind of learn how to be a VC. It's not a learning program, it's a closing program, right? So all the managers that come onto the program, we set them targets to, get hard commitments, start talking to LPs, start getting everyone excited about what they're doing, start warehousing deals, as Mike mentioned earlier. So it is really for people that are just about to launch their firm. But it's hard. Getting hard commitments is one of the most difficult things that VCs have to do. And sadly, they have to do it for as long as they are going to be VCs. We set targets for the cohort. And I think many would agree they're hard to reach. But this next award winner, I don't think we've seen anyone quite like it. Have we, Mike?
It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there, Mirta, for sure. Very incredible.
Yeah, they're on a league of their own, and they went above and beyond anything that we've seen in terms of how fast they were able to get those hard commitments and actually get to a first close. So please give it up for the unstoppable Gabriel from Lobster Capital.
Amazing, Gabriel. Where can I begin? So Gabriel came into the program, right? Got accepted into Decile launch like midway or something like that. Did a close and then another close, right? During the program, like just like the velocity of things. And just to think, Gabriel, then you and I were talking like right around like after the holidays, we're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can pull this off or whatever. Right. And then boom, like it just got done. And it's like, and it was just like so amazing to see. And it's just like, just a testament of just how incredibly awesome you are, Gabriel. Of course, just like everybody else, super active in the community and everything else, and also helping everybody. But Jesus, man, like you have been a freaking rock star. You kind of like define like you take and just, the way you take our feedback and work through that and like really just put it to work is just incredible to see. Gabriel, you're awesome. You're going to build a very, very important firm, and we wish you nothing but continued success.
There's a clapping lobster in the chat, Mike.
We actually, speaking of which, we actually have to we have like an emoji now for the lobster with like a lobster for Gabriel, right? Like that's at that level, right? Like Gabriel got his own lobster emoji. So there you go.
Yeah, so just everyone here, so you understand, I don't know what you've heard or whatever, but I can tell you that closing a fund is one of the hardest things that you can do. So right now, the average close time is under 5.7 months for someone who comes into the program. But to get it done during the 4-month program is ridiculously awesome.
Ridiculously awesome. So congrats, Gabriel. You're amazing.
Well done, Gabriel. You've been an inspiration. This next award is the Best Work Ethic Award. So this is another one of my favorites, mainly because a lot of my job kind of relies in making sure that, you know, I push you guys to get to the end of the 16 weeks. And a lot of, you know, with a lot of pushing comes a lot of nagging. And I have to, you know, we mentioned some emails that I have to send and, you know, kind of reminders. And, you know, I'm there to push everyone to get through all the hard work that is required to launch your dream venture capital firm. But there are always these kind of silent forces that just breeze through the program. You know, they're never behind. They're always on time. They hit the targets. They don't miss the webinars or the sessions. They always know what's happening. And, you know, to us, this just shows how focused they are, how reliable and professional, you know, they will be in their firms. And they will be to the investors that are going to invest in their firm, their portfolio companies, and the teams that they're going to build. You know, these are some of the most professional people that we've worked with. And, you know, this is why we're rewarding them today. So please put your finger on the reaction buttons and give it up for Les and John and Laurel Mintz.
Massive congratulations to you both, to both of the firms here. Let me just kind of get started with like Les and John here. You know, I mean, just the talk about professionalism, the quality of the work, the way they're like taking in and working through all of the assignments. It's just been like pretty inspiring, guys. Like seriously, like you all have been like kind of a role model for us. It's also a good example of kind of what happens when you continue to persevere. Right. So, you know, this happens a lot in the program where folks kind of figure out that maybe the first time they work through the program, the timings is slightly suboptimal. So they come back and they do an excellent job. And this is a really good example of that, of folks that are doing that and are closing and are working on something that matters. And just like someone we're just really proud to like support because of kind of your work ethic. So guys, you guys have been epic. It's been great working with you. Just the quality of the details. I mean, just like looking over like your stuff, your data room, all the stuff is just like really good. Materials, newsletter looks epic. Like just that stuff. It's just, you can tell they got it. Like this is going to be an enduring firm, super professional and kind of like ready to kind of take on the world here. The next person, like Laurel, wow, Laurel, like, I mean, just the you know, back to like professionalism, but the other thing too is just grit. Like, you know, just Laurel, like we've watched your stuff. I've talked to you in office hours. I've seen your work, and just like your perseverance and on stuff is just awe-inspiring. And, you know, I can tell that you can take people, like just pull people with you. Right. And just, you can see that also in just the professionalism of your deck and your design, you know, the way you approach folks and talk to folks. Just like a true honor to kind of have you just to be part of the community and be in the program. So we're super proud of you, Laurel. Really excited about the future. Oh, and by the way, what an important thesis, right? What an important thesis. Okay. Again, I can't share it, but like you're doing something that really matters. And this is exactly the kind of firm that we really want to help. So, you know, big congrats to you for getting this award.
Thank you, Mike, and congrats, Les, John, and Laurel. Finally, we are going to be handing out our last award, but probably one of the most important. So this is the Rising Star Award, which we give out to the managers that embody a little bit or a lot of, you know, a lot of the things that we discussed, and you know what the others you've seen up until now have been rewarded for. So whether it's their contribution to the community, their work ethic, how memorable their thesis is, their pitch deck, the speed at which they're getting their hard commitments, and kind of how much not only they've inspired us, but they've given us confidence that what they're building is really going to shake things up in the world. So the two last awards for Rising Star, and that will kind of conclude our closing ceremony for Cohort 9, go to Paige from K Street Capital and Faiz from Cube VC. Congratulations both.
Amazing, everyone. What an epic achievement for you both. Maybe what I could do is I can start here with Faiz, and then I can speak a little bit about Paige as well. Faiz, you're awesome, dude. Okay. We feel like you're going to build something really incredible, incredible like thesis, incredible like track record. And I think you're going to be someone to watch here for the future. For those of you that don't know, Faiz asks a lot of questions. And we actually are glad to answer them, because we know we have a pretty good feeling that Faiz is going to be very successful in the future, and we want to make sure that we can support you, and just we're very bullish on you, man. I think you have a shot at doing something really special here. You just got to, if you continue to stay focused, continue to keep building on the infrastructure that you've already developed, I think you're going to build a very, very enduring venture capital firm in a region that really could use the level of support that you can provide. So big congratulations to you, Faiz. Super proud of you. Okay. Finally, I do want to give a big shout out to Paige. Talk about another person that has incredible amount of potential. Paige came in with already a level of infrastructure that's been kind of set up, that she's been kind of defining and honing in for years, right? And now she's kind of like taking that to like a whole nother level, right? To kind of get into that point where she's building this enduring venture capital firm with this incredible community of people that's going to support some super important companies that really, really matter. Really matter. And you can just tell, like, Paige has got it. Paige is going to build like the next kind of like Sequoia level kind of firm. And we're super proud of you, of how far you've come, Paige, and super excited to see about your future. Rock on. You've done a really good job so far, and we can't wait to see what's next from both of you. Awesome. And with that being said, that concludes the awards ceremony. Congrats to everybody here. I do want to kind of say one last thing on this. Again, there's 55 firms that finished a program. Okay, it's an epic achievement just to get to this point. Epic achievement. Okay, we've highlighted some folks that were particularly impressive throughout this program, but it's like it's incredibly hard to even do these awards just because everyone is incredibly impressive by the time that they got here. So for those of you that just joined us late, 2,500 plus people started applications for this cohort. 330 were accepted, and then like 55 kind of made it to this point, and all of them are launching firms. All of them are closing. All of them are going to do something very impactful. Every single one took the Mensarius oath, which is super critical to ethical investing. So, the future looks really bright, and I'm just incredibly excited about kind of what you all are going to build, right? So just put that into perspective, everyone. 55 firms, at the very minimum, each are going to fund roughly about 25 companies. That's if they don't raise another fund. Right? Like just this cohort alone, right? Like let's say VC Lab was to end, and just this cohort alone, just the impact that they're going to have. Right. So rock on, everybody. You all are awesome. And
all right. Can we talk about what we do now, Mike? So we're going to end the presentation portion. They're tables. Tables have different names on them. This is an opportunity to socialize with the winners, to socialize with your peers, to get to meet everyone. We don't do social events as much as I'd like, but this is actually now going to be a social event and we'll leave it open for as long as people are sitting at tables. So if you want to stay As long as you want, go to a table. I also recommend when you go to a table, it will have a topic on the table. Introduce yourself briefly and jump right into the conversation. Don't be shy.
All right, everyone. We'll see you on the other side. Hopefully you enjoy this. Bye.
We'll be in the tables as well.